Eno Extreme Media UJ. Subscribe for all updates.
Mr. Speaker, for the record, and to comfort colleagues here, those of us across the aisle, by the way, from the opposition side, and I've seen a number of colleagues from the NRM side that are raising concerns, we are interested in every effort channeled at improving agriculture, including irrigation, which we are discussing here. So it's important that that record is straightened out. Agriculture is our backbone. We need to improve it. We need to better it. Right, Honorable Speaker, before South Sudan and DRC joined EAC, 48.9% of all the arable land in East Africa was here in Uganda. We need to establish now that, you know, 2 other countries joined EAC, what it's like. But that gives you a picture of the potential that we have. We have got a lot of arable land. So we should buttress it with irrigation and the like. So the idea is a good one. And we have raised, by the way, these concerns severally in our alternative ministerial policy statements to say, why are we not engaging irrigation? We cannot just rely on nature, because many times it has let us down, because we have let it down ourselves. Our concern is, let's follow the right procedures. Let's ensure accountability of the money so far extended onto this project, the phase 1 that is being talked about. Because if we do not take care of the challenges, all the goofs there were in phase 1, you have no guarantee that you're going to do very well in phase 2. And that's the concern that we are throwing out there. Mr. Speaker, this commercial loan, which is estimated at about 735 actually, when you do the conversion, about 735 billion Uganda shillings. This here is the single largest external borrowing proposed for the water and environment sector. And the Minister for Water is here, she can attest to that. This year is the largest so far in her docket. That's why we're saying we want to handle it right. We want to make sure we cross every T and dot every I. And that's why it was very important for committee scrutiny. Some of the concerns there have been, even with phase 1. Right, Honorable Speaker, sites were handed over without feasibility studies. That's a critical concern. So it is not right for us to say, let's just jump to phase 2. But you have some cleaning up to do. Why aren't you interested in cleaning that up? Only when studies were eventually done, right, Honorable Speaker, was it discovered that many of the sites were not viable. And I saw the Minister of Finance, you know, he conceded on a few things. But as you're conceding, why do we not do this cleanup? It's very important. Right, Honorable Speaker, money is gone for project phase 1. And even that project is incomplete. By September, 30th September 2025, 366 billion shillings had been released and spent. This figure, Mr. Speaker and colleagues, represents 100.3% of the approved budget for phase 1. So that means phase 1 overshot, and yet it is incomplete. Why do we not want to deal with these issues? So you overshot the amount for phase 1, and it is incomplete. We are saying, can we do that cleaning up, even as you're rushing us to phase 2? The other concern, Mr. Speaker, systems were built, but many are not working. That's phase number 1. So we are being rushed into phase 2. But we are saying, why do we not take stock of phase 1? And that should be for the good of all of us, because even where this project is being implemented in the various districts, I've had colleagues saying, our farmers are suffering, let's pass this. This accountability is good for your area also, because if money is spent and you're not getting the value that you ought to, why aren't you concerned? Honestly. Because then, if you are struggling on phase number 1, what guarantee do you have that phase number 2 will go right? And so that's our concern, Mr. Speaker. We want to go to phase 2 and whichever other phase there is, I don't know. But as we proceed down that road, take stock, deal with all the challenges there are in phase number 1, because you have not dealt with them. Now you want us to quickly rush. and appropriate money. And now we are appropriating a lot more money, 735 billion shillings. It's the single largest in the docket of work. Why do we not get to be in consensus as well?
At individual level, do you irrigate? As I mean, farm practices.
You're asking whether I irrigate?
At home. I just wanted to know whether in Nakawa you have some vegetables where you practice.
In Nakawa we may not have them. But Mr. Speaker, I am a member of parliament at national level. That is why you did not ask those of us in cities where there's no irrigation to move out. Because you will not have quorum if it is only the farming areas that do so. But seriously, Mr. Speaker, level, here we are struggling to tease out those issues, to hold government accountable for that money to be properly accounted for.
This, what we are saying here, is like a committee, and I want the government side to take it serious, the issues being raised by the opposite side. This is what would have happened in a real committee of national economy. You get members to freely. So for some of you who are doing this for the first time, there's nothing wrong. We only had, you need to take this in good faith. And I believe you are concluding.
Yes, I am, and the Speaker. But I thought I should tease this out, even for your further guidance. Rule 8 provides for a procedure that is not provided for and precedents. Mr. Speaker, with due respect, this particular one is provided for under none other than our country's grand norm, the Constitution. Article 91 of the Constitution. It says Parliament shall appoint committees for the efficient discharge of its duties. So it is provided for. It is my considered view that this is not one of those that falls under Rule 8. Because it is provided for, we are meant to formulate those committees. Mr. Speaker, yesterday I did inform you that we, the opposition side, we are more than ready to allocate members to committees. We are ready. I don't know if our colleagues on the NRM side, I see the good doctor, who is the government chief whip now, is here. I want to believe they are ready. I want to believe, I hope I'm not wrong. So this is provided for, and we can be able to scrutinize. You did bring in the rider of the time limit. Again, I want to beseech government, please stop stampeding us. We know about these timelines. We didn't get to know last night that 12th June is around the corner. We knew about it. Why did we not come much earlier? Minister of Finance. I would forgive if we had a new docket holder in the Ministry of Finance. But Honorable Musasizi has effectively, in the 11th Parliament, been the Minister of Finance. He was the one who was always here. Borrowing, he would come every day. Borrow, borrow, borrow. When it came to the budget, he was the one always here. So he's not new in this docket. When did you discover that now the deadline is around the corner? You can't have discovered last night. And so you come into Parliament, you're stampeding the Speaker, telling him we need to do this very quickly. And so why are you making us look bad? We knew about this. This is not one of those emergencies. Mr. Speaker, many times colleagues do raise emergency situations in their area. Soil has fallen on people, there's a tragedy, floods and so on. Those ones are understandable. This one is not an emergency. We knew about it.
Thank you.
Why did we not plan ahead?
Lop, I agree with you on that one, that we shouldn't be seen. First, to dispose of your matter on the rules. I will say it again. The rules does not provide for a situation where Parliament has no committee on national economy. I can go with you to the highest length and depth of legal interpretation or understanding. In this case, there is no committee. The committee is provided for in the rules, but we've not constituted them. That's why I had to use Rule 8, what the framers did not use that. 2, on the issue of why you make me appear like we are smuggling something. And this is a baptism of fire. You, Minister of Finance, do you know what it took me to be here? So when did you realize? You say something and then the VP will come and conclude.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank, please, through the chair, Kakoza, you know the rules. Right Honorable, Right Honorable
Procedure,
Speaker,
Right Honorable Speaker.
Procedure?
Yeah, under Rule 60, interruption of the debate of the minister.
We have concluded almost the debate.
No,
but
he's submitting something, it's a debate. So
he
if
was
I
responding to the request. But anyway, what do you want to say, Honorable Kakweza?
Right,
Senior.
Honorable Speaker, you've stated. I think this is a serious issue because as a person who has been here for some time, it has become a habit of Minister of Finance stabbing Parliament. Let's call a spade a spade. There is no way, when you look at Public Finance Management Act, it gives you a time frame when you come here to pick money. This loan was of 2021. You are talking of a timeline which is on 13th, but you've been around. Don't cause this Parliament to look shabby because of your own interest. We've been framing the last Parliament, half of the record.
Point taken.
Yeah,
Allow the minister.
can I conclude so that he can answer it? Please assure us you are passing a loan today. The closing of the books of accounts of the financial year ending on 30th. Are you going to submit that money to the votes and get appropriated? Please help us. For us, our work as members of Parliament is oversight function to check a government what it does. It's not proper. It's unprecedented. A loan to pass here being not scrutinized on that amount. I stop there.
I know you are supporting the image of this house, and we thank you. Honorable Minister, will you continue doing this thing?
thank you. Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues. Let me begin by thanking colleagues who have supported the borrowing in the debate. Mr. Speaker, I am sorry for not concluding the processes in time because of the circumstances which were beyond my control. And I want to commit to this that in future, save for the circumstances, we will try as much as possible to bring loans in time. Mr. Speaker, respond to the following issues. Number one, Honorable James Kakoza is asking that when shall we spend this money when the financial year is closing on 30th June. Mr. Speaker and colleagues, this financing I'm seeking is to finance the budget for financial year 2026-2027, which is beginning on 1st July. Question 2, the timing. Why can't we wait for the Substantive Committee on National Economy to be formed? Mr. Speaker, we have an offer by UKF, which is semi-concessional. But UKF is telling us that if we go beyond the 12th, which is the day after tomorrow, this offer will expire. That is why we are moving very fast so that we are able to catch up with the timelines of the lender. Mr. Speaker, point 3 was on the concern of the cost. But before I respond to that, Mr. Speaker, I want to propose a small adjustment in my earlier submission about the interest rate on the Export Credit Agency facility of 90% under UKF cover. The interest rate I presented of 3.65% was as of March 2026. The interest rate now, as of June 2026, is 3.92%. What this means is that I propose to replace 3.65% per annum fixed to 3.92%. Mr. Speaker, I think it is Honorable Omara who submitted that this loan is not as expensive as my brother Honorable Karim thought. The effective interest rate, all in, is about 5.1%. In the market, as Honorable Omara informed the House, is that the average interest rate on foreign currency is about 11%. So you can see that, yes, it is not concessional as we would wish it to be, but it is in between commercial and concessional. And Mr. Speaker, the market, Mr. Speaker, as the Honorable Senyonyi stated, have been very, very, very active in the Ministry of Finance business for the last 5 years. This means I also monitor all the markets. I'm looking for where cheap money is. Mr. Speaker, the current markets, sure, you can compare, because this information is public, that is very difficult to get interest rate lower than this. So, Mr. Speaker, lastly, I know we are all constrained. With my past experience and the kinds of questions I used to raise in this House, colleagues, some of you who know me, I would be raising what you are raising.
Abalungi abatuuliriza era abatulaba olunaku olwaleero tuchaddeko ewa Sheikh Ashraf Dembe.
Ssebo nsanyuse okubalaba. Amannya agange ye Sheikh Ashraf Dembe akola ku bizibu by'enjawulo. Omuntu singa aba alina ebirwadde musomereddwa tunywa amazzi ga lukuya nga bw'obadde ogalaba, tugenda abantu ku kyoto ne twokya emizimu emibi egibabaamu n'okulomba edduwa. Abantu singa abeera ng'ali wano atuuse sobola okumulombera edduwa, ne waba atatuuse nga mpadde amanya ge nga ali wala. Maneetaze enamba yange yeno eri 0707363711. Namwe bannyinaffe abali ebweru oyagala okuba nti oyagala okulombera ku dduwa ng'olina ebizibu, viza zibuze, amaka gakolongotana, sente zikola zimpita mu ngalo, ojja kumpeereza ekifaananyi kyo n'amannya go, ebyo byokka bijja kummala, nja kukulombera edduwa, ojja kutereera. Olunaku olusembayo mu mwezi mba n'edduwa ey'awamu ffenna n'abalwadde bange abakadde n'abapya. Salaamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.